Think about persistence towards whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Is it your goal? Is it relationships? Is it health? Are you persistent towards them? Our spirit is for fuller and creation, fuller expansion. You are meant to grow. You are meant to expand. And if you're afraid of accountability, ask yourself, why am I afraid of accountability? Well, hello. How are you? Welcome. My name is Catherine Arkema. Thank you for joining me. I will be your host. And today we're going to talk about persistence and how important is persistence to the growth of your business or to the growth of moving towards that goal, whatever it is that you're achieving. Now, most often I talk about this in terms of our success. And, when we're moving towards it in our businesses and from a growth perspective that way. But this is really, truly something to understand for anything that you are striving to achieve, right? Anything in life. So I hope you enjoy this talk on persistence because it was something that, truthfully, I didn't do very well before I started all of this. And I'm not sure if you can relate to that. Can you relate to having a ton of persistence, or whether you flip-flop, whether you go from here to there, grass is always greener all over the place, and it's really hard to make that committed, persistent decision towards something. Now that I understand these principles and how it works and the desire, back to the desire, things are changing. And so I hope I can, enlighten you to all of these as well. So persistence is actually essential factor in manifesting anything that you want or achieving that goal or having faith in anything. Persistence is a key ingredient. It's a key ingredient to baking our cake. you have to have persistence. And it is actually the 8th principle from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book. Persistence. It is key. So think about persistence towards whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Is it your goal? Is it relationships? Is it health? Are you persistent towards them? Or are you one of those people who falls back when things get tough? I know for me, I did. I absolutely did. I mean, I'm absolutely not perfect. This takes willpower. This takes awareness. This takes understanding. And one of the things that I realized when I evaluated my ability to be persistent in something was, do I truly desire it? And do you truly desire it? Because persistence takes effort. It really does. But if you do not have the desire for something, then you won't put in the effort. It's just true. Why would we do something for something that we don't want, right? I mean, if somebody said to you, hey, let's go bungee jumping, would you go through it? Would you be like, yes, I want to do that? But if your desire's out there, it doesn't matter what they say. You're like, no, it's not happening. And desire is a huge part of what we get out of our success in our life. So when we're working towards our goals, do we have that desire that's going to pull us through? Because the desire is the starting point of all achievements. And this talk is not on desire. You have to have desire to get through with persistence. It's like, if you don't desire it, it ain't going to happen. But what if you do desire? What if you do desire? It's like a child, right? Children are like kings and queens of persistence. They've got persistence nailed down. I remember as a child, my parents probably kill me for telling the story, but I was persistent in wanting a dog. We had a dog. I wanted a dog. I wanted another dog. And I was persistent. I had faith that this dog would be mine. I had worked in a pet store. I was like 16 years old. I wanted this dog more than anything. And I was persistent. I'd come home every day and be like, Mom, Dad, the dog's still there. He's this beautiful lab. Nobody wants him. He's getting too big for the little crates they would keep them in. And I was persistently showing up every day. And the dog eventually ended up where? In my belonging. Think about this as children. Your children do this to you if you have kids. They are persistent. I want it. I want it. I want it. As long as they don't cross that boundary into complete force and chaos, if they are persistent towards something and their true desire and they have faith towards it, it's going to be theirs. It just eventually is, whether it comes from you or somebody else a gift, they get what they want. They are persistent towards it. They know nothing else. They have faith and they move towards it. But as adults, we forget the skill of persistence. We disengage from it. We lose the habit of persistence. Absolutely, Aaron. Kids are masters of persistence. We lose this mastery of persistence. Why? Because we fail, and then we go, oh, I can't handle this, and we get negativity coming into us, and it just puts a barrier up. We start giving up. We start doubting ourselves. We become culprit to self-limiting beliefs, and it takes us down, right? We are uncomfortable with it. And so we'd rather go back to feeling stuck than being uncomfortable and persistent towards a goal. Network marketing is your key component of being persistent, getting uncomfortable, pursuing it. Sales, another one. If you're in any type of sales, you have to be persistent towards your goal. Realtors, mortgage brokers, people in direct sales, people selling for companies, doesn't matter. You have to be uncomfortable with it, and you have to be persistent towards it, because the goal is, in the end, that you'll have your success. But when it doesn't happen right away, when we don't have that instant gratification, when it doesn't come as quickly as it did when we were kids, we give up on the habit of persistence. We think it's never going to happen, right? We pull back, but persistence can be developed. It is a habit that you need to develop to truly realize the success you want. And it does start with desire. See, you're not going to go after something you don't enjoy. It just won't happen. I've done that before, where I've started a business and I thought, yeah, this is going to be fun. But did I truly enjoy it? No. I thought it might be fun. Intellectually, I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm going to do this. It'll be fun. But when push came to shove, it was not something that I desired. It was not something that I truly wanted to be in life. It was not where I saw myself. Desire is the fuel that is going to build your faith. And we know people like this. They have a definite plan for where they're going, and they overflow with this faith. They can see the vision. Regardless of what's happening in their circumstances, they know where they're going. And that is the starting point for our persistence. You need to bring your mind to bear upon the thing that it is you want. So there are four steps to creating this habit of persistence. Our first one is definite. I can't even say that word. A definiteness. I can't even say the word of purpose, backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. You gotta want it. I ask my clients this all the time. What is it you want? When we are in goal creation, step one of all the 12 steps, step one, goals. What is it you want is always what I ask them. And people have a hard time saying what they want, because truthfully, we're scattered. We are all over the map. Well, I want this. Well, I want that. And it's almost like this fear of committing, right? You want to go all in. You want to throw that hat in that ring. And we want a lot, but we have a hard time narrowing our focus in on what it is we truly want. Because here's the other thing. As we get older, we've learned to live most of our life just being, satisfied just with what is, with the status quo, of not truly dreaming and desiring anymore, of not truly asking ourselves, well, what is it that I want? Especially as moms, like, give me a thumbs up down there if you're like, yeah, moms, we put things on back burner. We sacrifice what it is that we truly desire for our kids, right? We say, oh, after the kids or after this, then I will do that. And countless women going back to university or school after the kids. We don't ask ourselves, what is it we want anymore? What is it that I truly desire? And here's the thing. When it comes to your goal, most people are settling for what they know how to do. They settle for a goal that they know how to do. They go sideways. Oh, I could do this, so I could be this over here or do this. I could apply for that job because it's, on equal pay or equal responsibility. Or if I start that business, I'll probably only get to this rank. I'm okay with only making an extra $200 a month, right? They don't say, no, I want to make 2,000, 20,000, 200,000. They don't set their sights on that because all this other talk comes in and says, that's greedy. You can't do it. Who do you think you are? You don't have enough education. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have the following, blah, 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 blah. You just fill in the gaps, right? And I say, shut that down. What is it you want? Because desire is what's going to build the faith. Desire is what's going to build the persistence. Desire is what's going to keep you moving. A lot of times you'll have people that ask you, what's your why? That's a hard one to answer sometimes. What's your why? I didn't even know what my why is. I still don't. I do, but I don't. I don't put it in the terms of why. I know what I desire. I know where I'm going. But it started with an idea. Hey, I think one day I'd like to do this. That turned into a desire, that built faith, that turned into persistence, that became my reality. And that's how it works. And now in this reality of mine, it requires being persistent because there's going to be ups and downs. So we normally pick goals we know how to achieve. What's the second type of goal we pick? Ones we think we can achieve based on our current circumstances. So, well, you know what? I probably could go back and take a night school course. So maybe I could go up a rung. You know what? Maybe I'll apply for that promotion because it's just a step above. I could probably get that. We start basing what we want off our current circumstances. If we go a little higher, if we think we're reaching, if I do A, B, and C, yeah, then I think I could get it. That's still not a goal. A goal is not for getting. A goal is for growth. And this is what we don't know about. Our spirit is for fuller and creation, fuller expansion. You are meant to grow. You are meant to expand. And by picking things that you already know how to do and picking things that you think you know how to do, that's not expansion. That's not growth. That's moving sideways. So Bob likes to talk about a story about a gentleman who came to him at a workshop and said, Bob, I want to talk to you about my goal. Bob's like, okay, great. Let's talk about that. What's your goal? I'd like to get a new car. Great. What kind of car do you want? I want a Pontiac. All right. Well, what kind of car are you driving right now? Oh, a Pontiac. Really? How long you had that Pontiac? Well, I've had the Pontiac for 4 years. When did you buy the Pontiac? 4 years ago. Bob says, so you're telling me that you want a Pontiac, but you're currently driving a Pontiac you bought brand new 4 years ago. Yes. He says, that's not a goal. You already know how to do that. And this is what most of us are doing. We already know how to do it. We already know how to buy a house because we've done it. We don't know how to buy that big house. We know how to go up a promotion in our company because we've maybe done it before. We know how to make that sale or two to get to that next little pay grade because we've done it before. We know how to do that. We know how to hustle really, really, really hard to get to that little advancement over here. What we truly don't know how to do is to get up here to where the bigger goals lies. How do we align with those? How do we get the faith to be there? There's all this talk about that manifest. How do I manifest that? Manifest is just another word for having your faith and your belief and bringing it to you with your vibrational energy. We do this on a daily basis. We just don't even know it. So having a big goal is causing us to grow. Yes, we need to experience new things. We need to put ourselves out there. We need to experience what fear feels like when we're about to take a quantum leap. I experienced this in huge, huge ways over the last year. I wrote on a goal card, I wanted to be a coach. I was currently running my own design business and had a network marketing company and doing all of the things. But my goal card said coach, mentor, speaker. I had no idea, but I had a desire for it. And the desire grew. It grew so big that I took that leap of faith, right? Became the coach. Then what? persistence. You need to have the habit of persistence. Otherwise, you're going to turn back because it's going to get tough. Fear's going to kick in. There are going to be times when there's a low. It's the law of rhythm. There's highs and lows. If you don't have the habit of persistence or consistency to keep showing up and keep doing the things you need to do and having the vision and building the faith of where you're going, you are going to burn out. The grass is going to seem greener on the other side and you're going to jump fence. Or you're going to say, holy cow, and run back in the house, right? I could have ran back to my old self. I could have ran back to my old career. I could have ran back to all of that. Persistence and the habit of persistence moves you forward and brings you greater success. Anybody who has accomplished any great thing in life, they didn't know how they were going to do it. They had a goal, a big goal. Do you think Steve Jobs knew how he's going to do it all? Absolutely not. Do you think the Wright brothers knew how they were going to fly? Absolutely not. It's all about having the big vision goal that creates a burning desire in you that you are willing to go through. Step 2, a definite plan expressed by action, meaning that you know where you're going and you're going to try different attempts to get there. It doesn't mean you change the end goal. It means you're persistent in trying new things till you find the thing that works. When the Wright brothers discovered how to fly, they had tested out so many other ways. They say it takes 10,000 times at something to master a skill, right? Well, you have to put in those hours. You have to be willing to try new things. If something's not working, then what do we need to try? We need to change the game plan, but we need to be persistent in where we're going. Third, we need our mind to be tightly closed against all negative, right, and discouraging influences. And no, we've all experienced this. Our mind can be our biggest discourager. Can say, oh, this is not going to happen, especially when you're in the low swing of the law of rhythm. For every down, there is an even greater high. But guess what? When you're down here, that's usually when you're like, oh, jeepers, this is not happening, right? The mind comes in, it takes you down. Maybe it's spouses, maybe it's loved ones, maybe it's family, maybe it's some stranger on Facebook that you're like, hey, are you interested in this? And they tear you down. But that was enough to take you down instead of being persistent to say, whatever, moving on and keep going. We can have our subconscious wide open to emotionally accept whatever is poured into it. But you have to learn how to close that off. You have to learn how to say, you're putting the lid on top of that, right? Your faith and desire for where you're going is bigger than anything somebody may say to you. Henry Ford, when he built the V8 engine, he was told over and over and over and over again, even by his own engineers, it can't be done. But did he listen? Nope. Why? He was persistent. He had a vision. And he actually knew the laws, that if he could see it, he could hold it in his hand. It was just a matter about being persistent towards it. Ask anybody who's achieved any great wealth, any great success. They had a vision and they just kept going. They are persistent. I know I have a lot of network marketers. Ask all your top leaders. They knew where they were going. They had a burning desire and they're persistent. It's funny because as you talk to somebody on the top of those rungs, they'll have people come into their business and join them. They just don't understand why they don't have that same faith and desire, because it's right there. You can have it all, but somebody doesn't have that. But you got to ask yourself, is it what I truly desire? So even when I work with network marketers, I say, is it what you truly desire? Do you truly want the team? Do you truly want what that is all cut out for? And if it's a yes, then heck yes, let's do it. And if it's a no, what I really desire is over here, then let's focus on that. Let's grow that. I have a friend who is a realtor, and opposed to every opposition that came up, just overcame all of it. Why? Because this person was persistent and has achieved more success and is one of the top rankers in realtor as a realtor. But you know what came up against those negatives? The persistence and vision kept this person going, and now is up here. And number 3 is a friendly alliance with someone or more than one person who will encourage you and follow you through. Accountability. This is why I do a 6 a.m. accountability with my clients. We are online every morning together, studying our mindset so that the rest of the day, it's like you have a barrier. You're set up for whatever comes against you, even your own thoughts, when you can start your day off like that. Who is it? And if you're afraid of accountability, ask yourself, why am I afraid of accountability? Is it because I know that if I have to be persistent towards something and I have to show up and be accountable towards it, that I may actually have success? And is it what I really want? And am I willing to get that uncomfortable? Accountability is somebody who's going to turn in your corner and be your biggest cheerleader. You can do this. You need somebody there when the going gets tough, right? This is why people hire coaches and mentors, because we're able to apply foresight into that, to be able to direct the negative thinking and a different perspective and help you get past it and move at a quicker speed rather than staying in the wallows. You know, my clients will say, I can't believe how fast I get out of negative thinking now. When it comes in their head like this, it's gone. Like they're like, nope, that's not even something I want to relate to anymore. Or we used to stay in there for weeks and months, right? For periods of time. When I hit my rock bottom, it was like 2 months of negative thinking that I couldn't get myself out of. And it tore me down. It ate up my business. And it's just further and further. That's why you have accountability. That's why you have coaches. That's why you have mentors, someone in your corner. Who is it? And yes, if you have to hire them, hire them. We all run into opposition. We all do. It is a part of what getting good means. The further you get to the top, the thinner the air gets, right? You need assistance. You need to keep going. You need persistence to keep climbing. To climb Mount Everest, they didn't know how they were going to do it. They had a will. They had a definite purpose that they were going to get up there. They had each other. And they made it up to the top. Was it easy? Heck no. But they made it. So you need to start turning this persistence into a habit every day. Every day you're persistent towards your goal. There's 4 ways to turn persistence into a habit. And there are a list of things that hold you back. Fear, procrastination, doubt, worry, comparison. The list is like, 14, 15 things long. And they're very detailed about what will get in your way of persistence. People say consistency is key, right? Consistent. Persistence. To be consistent, you need to have the persistence to show up every day and be consistent. Even my own coach, yes, I have my own coaches too, has said to me, this is your persistent daily habit. These things, non-negotiable, do them. And yes, one of them is what? Study. Because if you can master this, you can master the art of persistence. You can change any habit that you don't like into a habit that works for you rather than against you. So use the art of persistence. Use this habit of persistence to get to where you're going. Ask yourself if you have the desire to where you're going. It'll build that faith in you. And then be persistent. Think about how many times that maybe you switched gears and you're like, wow, if I had just kept going, look where I might have been. I've done it. I absolutely have. Where I look and I say, if I had just stuck it out, and been persistent, where would I have been? We've all had that. So think about now, if you keep going, if you are persistent towards something, if you keep sticking it out, where are you going to end up? Are you going to step back or are you going to keep going forward? And we all know people who are lost. Their lack of direction, They're all over the place. Start, stop. Hear this. I'm here. Now I'm there. No, I think it's there. That's chaotic. That's lack of direction, lack of goal, lack of vision, lack of faith, no persistence. And the people who win decisions really quickly, they don't waver on decisions because it's actually a law of attraction decision making. When you make a decision and you commit to it, the law brings it back to you. So you make the decision, I want this. Desire, heck yeah, I want this. I can see it. I can see it in my mind. I know that I can do this. Faith builds, and persistence is one of the keys to bringing it into reality. Assumption that it is so. Know that it is so and work towards it. The Power of Assumption is a great book by Neville Goddard. I highly recommend it. Assume it is so. Have the desire and work towards it regardless of what's going on. So our four key steps are definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. 2, a definite plan expressed by action. 3, a closed mind to negativity and discouragement. And 3, a friendly alliance. Or 4. I don't know how to count. 4, a friendly alliance. You can do this. I know you can. If you need help, please message me. I will help you. That's what I do. So thank you for joining me, everyone. This is Catherine Akima. Bye for now.